And we are running right on time, and we are going to be introducing Tia Hartsock. She is the director at the Office of the Wellness and Resilience under the Office of the Governor. And Michelle, tell us a little bit about Tia.
Sure. Tia Hartsock is the first director of the Office of Wellness and Resilience, housed within the Office of the Governor, Josh Green. Tia has worked for nearly 25 years to improve our state's mental health and criminal justice systems. Formerly, Tia was the project director on 3 Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, who we all know as SAMHSA, funded initiatives within the Hawaii Department of Health to develop and provide mental health services for adolescent girls and other historically underserved populations, overseeing multi-agency collaborations to improve the delivery of services by the state's mental health system using trauma-informed and gender-specific frameworks. She is a nationally certified trauma-informed care trainer by the Gaines Center and the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. Tia was also appointed as an adjunct faculty lecturer at the University of Hawaii at Manoa Thompson School of Social Work and Public Health, and has lectured at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. So amazing, yeah?
She is amazing.
Oh,
I think I was one of her test studies way back when she was still in college.
I don't know about that.
I needed a few extra dollars.
I don't know if she had a lifetime to do that. But anyway, Tia has earned her Master's of Science in Criminal Justice Administration from Chaminade University with a specialization in juvenile justice, and her Master's of Social Work from the University of Hawaii with a specialization focus on mental health. Everyone, please join us in welcoming Tia Hartsock.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Really grateful to be here. Just wanted to make sure that I thank everyone for inviting me, for coordinating this entire conference, doing this work every year. I've attended several times, but I'm really humbled to be here as a speaker. So thank you so much. I first want to acknowledge that wherever we are right now in Hawaii, we're standing on the ancestral cultural lands of Native Hawaiians. We should always remember that Hawaiians have been here for centuries, taking care of this land, and we're incredibly privileged to be standing where we are right now for so many reasons. Plant your feet on the ground. It might be an office, it might be your home, it might be concrete, but please plant your feet wherever you are, and just take some time to acknowledge our gratitude for being able to be here today, for all the people who brought us together into this very moment, to thank everyone here and everyone who has come before us. Each and every one of you come with so many people standing all around you, beside you, in front of you, and behind you. And that is so much to think about when we are moving throughout our days, through this incredible work that we do on a daily basis, that we've chosen to come to this work. But it's taken a lot of people to get us here where we are, each and every one of us. And it's been a choice. It might have been a choice 1,000 years ago. It might have been a choice 1,000 days ago. It might have been a choice, this morning when you woke up. But I'm glad you're here. I also want to take another moment to acknowledge our, as Michelle and Paul did, our collective sadness, our collective grief, for those who we've lost in the most recent collective trauma on Maui. The word collective trauma, it is such a heavy word. what we know about what do we know about recovery from collective trauma, and how do we build resilience in ourselves, our ohana, our families, our community after such a large collective trauma. We might not have a lot of experience as a large community together with events quite of this magnitude. Some of us were around when Hurricane Iniki hit. Some of us were around when Eva hit. Some of us remember when 9/11 happened. A few of us may be here when the tsunami hit Hilo in 46. I'm going to share screen. How do I do that? Am I sharing the right screen? Okay. Our proximity to those collective traumas really varies deeply. It varies deeply, and it's obvious that proximity makes a difference in how deeply we experience trauma. People had responses to all of those events that may have been passed down generation to generation. And this is what we know as generational trauma, intergenerational trauma. Our bones hold experience and knowledge. We know this for sure. We know our DNA carries critical information about trauma. And we also know how to be resilient. That is intergenerational resilience. We know how to respond to each other as family with compassion. As friends here, I see many friends. As neighbors, look around, you see your neighbors. As neighboring islands, you look around and see your friends and colleagues from neighbor islands. And that's what I really want to talk about today is compassion and intergenerational resilience. How can we and how do we center ancestral knowledge in our recovery in this healing process? This question has really been on my mind lately, and is often on my mind is becoming quiet, becoming slow, staying in silence. And that's one place that we can all start is to be sitting in silence, like really completely silent. As some of you know, this image is one of the places on Earth that is considered through research apparently as one of the most quiet places in terms of sound, noise pollution, one of the quietest places on this planet. And it's in our backyard. How do we completely empty and be silent? How do we surrender to that silence and really allow our minds to be quiet, as quiet as we possibly can, and to ask in so many different ways for guidance, guidance from those who we turn to in times of need. Every one of us knows who we turn to in a time of need. You can come out the top of your head with the name of that person who you turn to. And it may be different with different types of needs. Right now, the guidance that we seek from those who we trust to share lessons learned, to share and provide guidance from the places that we know, and that places have a knowing of what it means to heal generational wounds. And then how do we really listen to what information we are given? So if we're silent and we listen, how do we know that collective guide will help us in the way in which we already know lives within ourselves, within our bones? How do we trust what we already know works in our communities, what we already know works for each and every single one of us? And I want to ask you, everybody on this call, on this Zoom, in this conference, when do you know that you are on the wrong path in terms of being balanced and whole, knowing what your body needs, knowing what your mind needs, knowing what your soul needs? How do you know when you are kind of heading down that path, or when your cup is starting to empty, or when your body is starting to run out of fuel, when your mind is starting to be overwhelmed, and when your soul needs to be refilled and regenerated? We always start by listening to our bodies, because your body always tells us what we need to rebalance. This is the concept behind the book, The Body Keeps the Score. How do we know in our own bodies that we are imbalanced, that we are not whole, that we need to figure out what our lokahi wheel looks like and rebalance? Is it when we start to get headaches? Think about it for each and every one of us. Is it when we start to get headaches? Is it when we start to lose sleep? Is it when we forget to eat? Is it when we're eating too much? For me, or too much ice cream, that's always mine. When I'm downing the pints of Haagen-Dazs, okay, I need to rethink. Because for me, I know when it hurts just to get out of my car after my 45-minute commute to work, it's already time. I already know I have to stretch. I have to drink water. I have to move my body, because just sitting still for 45 minutes when that hurts to stand up, that is a sign that my body needs to be balanced. When do you need to, what I do when I need to rebalance that, I know I need to go down the street and walk to one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, listen to the waves, listen to my breath go in and out as I walk. I need that sweat. I need to be able to hug and walk with my child. I need that. That works for me. And taking that time to do that is, when do we get to that point to say, okay, I'm there. I need to go do that. What do you need for your own wellness? What do you need to do for your soul? So we talked about our body. Let's talk about our soul, our spirit. What does it sound like when we need to rebalance and re-energize our spirit, our energy, our mana? Does our patience run out quick? Do we immediately in our heads go to blame and judgment? What do we need to find that balance? How do we take the time to find what works and make note of it so that we can remember it for the next time? Because it's not a matter of if, but when, and we all know this. For me, it really is being in nature, getting my feet in the land, getting my feet out of work shoes, off the cement, and in the dirt. It always makes me realize the absolute honor it is to be living and breathing right now. It helps me find gratitude. Other times, what I really need is to find time to laugh. We all know that finding time to cry is also something that the soul needs to heal. We take time to go to our those whom we turn to for our own type of mind and soul healing. I go to my therapist, my acupuncturist. I take time to connect with my child. I know these things work for me. I also know that when I start to become more imbalanced, and my soul and my spirit and my energy starts to really slow down, it has to do with a connection to our minds, to my mind. And then I go and think about connecting and rebalancing my mind. And some of us might call this regulating our emotions. For me, I know that when my mind speeds up and I start to spin on all levels, I have to slow down. I have to slow my speech down, which is something that I'm trying to work on right now. I have to slow my responses to other people down. I have to slow my driving down, according to my husband. I have to slow down my critique on myself. Slow down that voice in our head that's constantly critical of ourselves, first and foremost. And find that time and space, that space in time to be quiet. In this quiet, in these moments of silence, we can hear our own bones talk to us and provide guidance. And that might sound funny, but when we feel like this and when we know this, I know I have to make phone calls to those people that have decades of experience on me. I know that they might be actual phone calls. They might be coffee. They might be dinner. Sometimes they might be figurative phone calls where I'm calling on them and they give me the very messages that I need in that moment. And in this type of quiet, and really only in this quiet, can we really be in a place to listen, to really, really learn, and to take the lessons from those who came before us and those who are walking alongside us, and really honor what they know and what they are trying to tell us each and every moment. How many of you have taken these moments lately to listen and to hear and actually heard something and actually felt guidance and actually felt comfort? I can see some of you, but you can raise your hands if you want. We really already have this. We already have this in our DNA. We have this in our bones. We have this in ourselves. We have built-in codes on how to be resilient, how to heal, and how to move through challenging times. How can we all listen to every person that we interact with today and every single day with one purpose? To give that person space and time to empty their heart. Because when we listen with compassion, we give them a chance to suffer a little less. Those aren't my words. Those are words from Thich Nhat Hanh, who encompasses what it means to come to this work. We come with compassion. I hope that we can really commonly understand that each and every one of us here today has come to this work with compassion. You would not be in this field unless you understood the emotion and the concept of compassion. However, how often do we provide compassion to ourselves? How often do we give that same compassion to our families, to our communities, to collectively heal? So many of you on this call and in this conference that have come here today have given so much compassion over the last 7 weeks for your community, for our community, our collective community, to come together and heal. That compassion needs to be nurtured. That compassion just doesn't regenerate. It has got to be nurtured deliberately, or else we'll experience that concept of compassion fatigue. And it's not a matter of if, but really when. So what are we doing, each and every one of us, what are we doing to protect ourselves against it? I had to look up the definition of the word compassion. There's many different thoughts on what compassion is. Different cultures have different concepts on what compassion is. And they're very similar, but there are nuances of that difference. But apparently the Latin root for the word compassion is pati, P-A-T-I, which means to suffer. And the prefix calm means with. So compassion originally comes from compati, which literally means to suffer with. Suffering with another person and finding that energy within ourselves to act, to alleviate their pain and suffering. How many of you have wanted to know that we're suffering ourselves every day, but you want to take that pain away from everyone else who's suffering. I hear that over and over and over in the families that I've spoken to over the last 7 months. I'm okay. I'm okay. I know other people are worse off and they need this. They need that. That's compassion. They're truly, that's a true meaning of compassion. It's not just a feeling, it's this concrete action, this connection of suffering with other people that brings that compassion beyond sympathy and into really the realm of empathy. Compassion is active empathy, you could say. Understanding how we activate empathy into compassion and recognizing when we feel our compassion, when we need to refill our compassion cup. That only happens when we feel helpless, when we want to alleviate the distress of others. We know that we have to refill that cup. It's beyond feeling with others because it goes into the action phase of actually addressing and improving the well-being of others. But the nurturing of our compassion can only be done by awakening our body, awakening our mind, and awakening our soul, our collective mana, our collective energy, if you will. Connecting to ourselves means connecting to that inner knowing, that knowledge, that intergenerational resilience that lives in every single one of you, in our bones and in our DNA, in our spirits, our souls, our bodies and minds. I want to take a minute to realize what intergenerational resilience really means. We are only here because of those who came before us. They were resilient. They survived. They thrived. They have given us this gift of being here. When we all go through pain, when we all go through trauma, when we awaken their resilience in our own resilience, it is truly the only thing that we can carry through the suffering, this intense suffering that we see within ourselves and with everybody else. And not just in this moment, but throughout our lives. This can give us the energy for empathy and compassion. Think about when you last challenged yourself to climb a mountain or to care for a loved one as part of what you were called to do. When you gave birth, if you chose to give birth in this life, that pain and suffering awakens our ability to be resilient. In that first year of raising my child, in that very first year, going through that 34 hours of suffering through birth, something awoken in me to create some type of ability to keep that child alive for that first year or that last year of life. I want to close by saying that if we are really going to make a difference, which I know we are, and I know every single one of you already has and will continue to make a difference, it's really going to take all of us harnessing that resilience within ourselves and lifting that resilience up and tapping into that mana, that collective energy. Think about the power of all of that energy. We all have been working together, bringing ourselves in this collective energy as individuals, as families, as government agencies, as community organizations at every level, state, federal, local, county, private, public, neighborhoods, as we all recommit to this work on a daily basis, because this is a recommitment every single day. This is a choice to commit every single day. We have to remember why we're in this field, why we started, what brought us here. Our primary emotional need as human beings is to be connected to each other. And as providers, as friends, as neighbors, as colleagues, as sisters and brothers, we are given so many opportunities every day to be deliberate in our compassion and our connection to our own resilience by tapping into that allowing us to listen and allowing us to hear what is being told and guided to us every single moment of every single day. But we have to stop and be silent. This is passed down from us to those who came before. And it really begins with our ability to be empathetic, and then our ability to turn that into compassionate action. Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you for doing this work. Thank you for doing this conference every year, for all of the countless hours that goes into coordinating this, to all the speakers who are coming now to share their unbelievable wisdom, and to teach every one of us what it means to be in this work right now, in this moment, what that takes, what commitment and choice that is made every day to come. Thank you for making that choice. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me with you to share a little bit of time and a few moments. Have a wonderful conference. And thank you so much. Aloha.
Mahalo, Tia. I don't know how this is going to affect the bandwidth or the sound, but if everybody can take yourself off of mute and just give her a big round of applause. Just pa'i pa'i lima. That was amazing. Can we unmute ourselves?
Thank you so much.
I know who it is, right?
Thank you. Thank
Mahalo,
you.
Tia.
Thank you.
Mahalo, Tia.
Thank you, Tia.
Mahalo, Tia.
That's so sweet.
Mahalo, mahalo.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, appreciate it.
Thank you to
So,
everyone.
so wonderful, Tia. If you have ever been in Tia's space, she is an amazing, amazing woman. Reading her bio, I don't know, it does no justice. Truly amazing. Mahalo for your share, Tia.
Tia, mahalo. And you know, from day one, from the fires, you and I have been on the phone and texting and emailing, and the heaviness that you opened up this meeting with in your heart, you know. But last week when you called me when I was on Molokai and we started laughing, when you had said you have to find the time to laugh and the time to cry, I want to thank you for that. You know, you've been really very instrumental in assisting us with the healing process on Maui. And
We just thank you for that.
yeah,
So
really
much,
do.
so much love and adoration for you for being here as often as you are. You are an amazing soul, and we are so blessed to have you doing what you're doing.
And Michelle and I practice what you brought up. Some days we sit here and we literally cry and hug each other. And then I'll come out with an inappropriate joke a few minutes later and we're laughing. But, you know, because we needed both. And when you said that, it really touched me about how important it is that you have to find that balance and that time to do those.
Yeah. So part of Ohana and community resilience is maintaining a strong hui who are dedicated to preventing child abuse and strengthening families.
And for those of you that might be fairly new to the Holy Kaika Partnership, we are a cross-sector coalition of organizations, individuals, county, and state agencies that are committed to preventing child abuse and neglect in Maui County. That was the original structure. I've been fortunate enough since they began in 2007 with a small oversight committee of 5 individuals, 5 agencies, to watch the growth. I was actually on the board of directors at that time for the Friends of the Children's Justice Center. I wasn't an executive director, and we helped them create this partnership and invest in it. And hundreds of people now involved with it. It's just phenomenal. And I remember watching, and the question was, and this relates to what we're going through here on Maui, who else needs to be at the table to be able to enhance and enrich the families and strengthen them? And that's been the focus of Holy Kaika Partnership from day one, with the protective factors. You know, the child abuse Protection Treatment Act provided funds to improve systems and our responses to child maltreatment, and we also seed funding from Consuelo helped out definitely, and the Hawaii Community Foundation way back when. And the Hawaii Kaika Partnership, it's evolved to serve as a conveyor of agencies involved in the prevention of child abuse and neglect in Maui County. And to improve our coordination of efforts, increase partnership, support the workforce, and further the use of evidence-based approaches, especially the protective factors. I also want to touch on something that cultural sensitivity came into play here too. We're very fortunate to have people from the Hawaiian community to assist us. I know Kalei and Michelle and a bunch of other people, because that's something I've been educating myself on. And Dolly, thank you so much. From day one is understanding and respecting and understanding how to respond to the culture. And I'm very grateful for all the people that have shown me the way and given me the tools needed to make sure I am being culturally sensitive and supportive of our community and understanding. And what's next on our agenda, Michelle? I think we go into Kalei, and Kalei is going to share with us a little bit.
Can I just share something really quick? You know, Paul gets really emotional. This partnership is very near and dear to his heart, and he gets choked up a lot. So I just wanted to mention that.
He's trying to get me to cry. I think that's what
no, I'm sitting here and I'm like kicking him, saying, "Keep it together, keep it together." But you know, so we have Kalei who's next to share.
You know, one thing and I'll share this quickly, and because we're right on time. I was never allowed to have emotions, so I knew how not to have them. And when I allowed myself later in life to feel, it was the best thing that ever happened, because that's when I found empathy and compassion for others. Because I couldn't have it for myself, I wasn't able to distribute it to others. And so the reason I do get emotional, it's heavy work, but it's rewarding work. And you see the outcomes and the collaboration and the partnerships and the friendships. It's important. And Kalei is going to come in and speak a little bit with us.
Aloha mai kākou. You know, Tia, I've known Tia for a really, really long time. I think we might have had different last names when we knew each other. And I see so many people, Tia, going back and forth and calling you Tia or Tita. It's one of those, it's both of those all at once. And on top of the inspiration you provided for us this morning, you also gave us permission out loud to have tears and laughter all at once. And so, Paul, I love that you feel your feelings and lean into it. We all do. And that's how we know that the work is real and that the work means something. The Hawaii Kaika Partnership means a lot to me. At the core of the work of the partnership are the protective factors. And I like thinking about the protective factors as common sense stuff that's backed up by rocket science. And it's both of those things at once at the center of our work as the Hawaii Kaika Partnership. E ko maui e nā wahana aloha aina. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me the time and space to greet you and share some mana'o. As the Hawaii Kaika Partnership is able to continue to press forward together as this very large partnership as a part of Maui County, the partnership work is guided by the leadership of 10 organizations now. Paul was a part of the conception and conceiving. They dared and were bold enough to conceive of such a thing. And now reinforcements and partners and people have come together to form this partnership. The efforts are guided by 10 organizations that make up what we call our leadership hui. We meet regularly to ensure three things. Number one, that we're anchored to a shared vision. that we have strategic direction, and number 3, that we have committed and oftentimes uncommon support of each other, the work at hand, and our shared vision. I would be remiss if I didn't say a thing or two about our facilitator, Deb Mulroy of Converge Consulting, Research, and Training. Deb is the string in our lei. And I know we don't often think about string when you get a lei, unless, of course, you are a lei maker. But you don't have to be a lei maker to know that it's the string that holds the lei together. And so I mahalo Deb, Paul, and others who make up the leadership hui for your foresight leadership, and then to the rest of the partnership for the hard work, for the good work, for the important and critical work that we do to uplift Keiki in Maui County. Kamehameha Schools, KS Kaia'ulu, we are both proud and privileged to be part of this work, to support this group of leaders and this incredible partnership, and particularly this convening Ku'ola Kaia'ulu. You guys, we are here. We are together. Even our darkest hour is only 60 minutes. What that tells me is we can, if we will, here together. If you aren't already a part of the Ho'ikaika Partnership and you're checking us out for the first, maybe second time, check out our website, come join us. I'm going to put you into the very capable hands of Ashley in just another second here so that you can hear from other leadership Hui members. And as she gets our video ready, I just want to say mahalo, mahalo, mahalo.
Peace Center Program Supervisor and Ho'ikaika Core Partner. The Ho'ikaika Partnership is a collaboration of community partners coming together to provide service for our Maui community. Aloha. Aloha, Connie Mika, Maui.
I am appreciative of those that are committed to the Ho'ikaika Partnership and who participate, especially with all the overwhelming things that they already have to do.
An amazing team of service providers and professionals, and they're working closely together to ensure all the needs of our families at risk are being met, and I am proud to be a core member of such a team. Who are Ho'ikaika partners? We are.
What I appreciate most about the Ho'ikaika Partnership is how we have sustained this collaborative effort for nearly 15 years. We continue to grow and learn together. Mahalo to all of our partners for your commitment to this endeavor and keeping our ohana healthy, safe, and supported.
Aloha, this is Shana Orta with Child and Family Service. To me, the Ho'ikaika Partnership means ohana, collaboration, unity, and strength. As a partnership, we are of the community, caring for our community.
On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. Do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove, love me salmon with the ice. We eat and drink and we sing all day. Kalikapila in the old Hawaiian way. On the island, we do it island style. Do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. Do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. We go grandma's house on the weekend, clean that because if we no go, grandma gotta work hard. You know my grandma, she like her boy real sour. I love my grandma every minute that we are on the island. We do it island style. Do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
I value Huikaika partnership because of the relationships that we have in supporting families in Maui County.
Thank you so much for that and for the video and showing all the collaborative work that we are doing, that everyone's doing in the community. Right now, what you're going to see on your screen once it starts sharing is a tool that was created. These tools were created to help everyone understand or compare the different methodologies or framework or pathways or ideas that can help build resiliency. We also know that family strengthening and resiliency is built in different ways, but we also know that it is the foundation of culture, and that culture helps to support resiliency, and it is a foundation of family strengthening. So again, there are many different frameworks or pathways that work towards building resiliency and family strengthening, but we wanted to provide a tool for you guys so you could use it to take a look at some strategies and ideas that you can use in your profession and with families that you work with. These documents, we hope, will be a resource for you. It can be found in the chat as a download if you're having difficulties downloading it there. It is also uploaded on Sketch in this morning's opening session, but take a look at it. This is not a, this is the work from different frameworks, but again, something that you can use and hopefully it'll be a resource to you and what you do for your families and the communities, or what you do with your own children. So thank you very much.